Alright, so I have this Wharfedale SW150. It's a 150 watt subwoofer. I picked this up and it's faulty, it has no sound. And I've confirmed that. You connect it up to the RCAs and the speaker level inputs. There is no sound coming out of this whatsoever, so there's no short circuit on the speaker terminals or anything dodgy, so I think it's maybe something more on the control side of things, maybe like the volume part or this part or something else pretty simple, or capacitors or something. I've fixed quite a few subwoofers similar to this, and it's normally just capacitors that go wrong or bad solder joints. So we're going to take it apart and have a look. So let's take the back off. Somebody else has already took this apart, and this is how I received it. The screws are a H3, and there's a few of them around the outside. You've got to take them out, and then I can imagine the speaker is probably plugged into the board or soldered to the board. You're gonna have to unplug that as well. So I've never actually been inside a Wharfedale subwoofer before, so it'd be pretty interesting. All right, so I took out the unit and it is actually pretty good build quality. These are the output transistors, very nice. Pretty big transformer going on as well. I'm going to say it's going to do the wattage it says. This is a fuse, which is going to be okay because we get the power light. And it looks like there's two outputs from the transformer, so I'm going to say the transformer's probably working okay. Seeing as it turns on. The chassis is grounded from over in the main board, so it's not grounded through the transformer, I don't think. So yeah, I'm going to say that the transformer's probably okay and not faulty, and the fuse is okay. I mean, there's two fuses here. Pretty certain that they're going to be fine. Just doing basic checks, you know, without power first. You know, that's sound. This is too sketchy, isn't it, really? That sound as well. So, what could be going on? The fuses are both good and there's no bad caps. Or obviously bad caps. This is pretty nice, this is. Oh, there's a relay in here actually. Yeah. There is a relay and an X-Class cap there that doesn't look too good to me. You seeing that? That X-Class cap looks pretty deformed on the one side. I'm wondering if that's maybe faulty. I didn't hear the relay click when I turned this on either. And I would have heard it click. I'm getting a suspicion about that relay circuit, but it could be anything like, I'm going to test the volume pot as well. This is a pretty specific pot. Hopefully that isn't faulty. Normally they go really high resistance or open circuit on the wipers. So that's going to be, it looks like there's two wipers. So it's going to be your one channel. And it's probably going to be some sort of common, isn't it? I'll have to figure that out. Caps Decon. I've seen these before, and I'm pretty certain these fail without showing that they failed. Let me just check my YouTube real quick. They're all these crappy Decon brand. So I'm going to have to completely remove this main one and get that massive. So I've seen these caps before, so I've already got the ESR meter out. So I'm probably going to recap all of this, just to be safe anyway. Just gives it all a refresh. Keeps it happy. I'm not really sure how old this sub is. There's no manufacture date. But yeah, I'm gonna take this board out and I'm gonna check the relay coil first, make sure that's not open circuit, and then this meter has a capacitance meter on it as well, so I can also check the value of that cap. This isn't nearly as accurate as like the Fluke, but it depends what the value of the cap is. I might be able to test it. So, I mean, what's that as well? Is that another relay? Here it is. I haven't heard any relays clicking this, so yeah, I'm gonna have to do some testing. Okay, so I've done some testing on this board and I think I found some problems. So, as I sort of suspected, this relay, the coil is open circuit. This one is okay, the coil is alright, and this is actually the main power relay. So I'm going to desolder this relay and we're going to check it out of circuit. Now there is a diode in parallel with the coil to stop reverse voltage, obviously because the coil gets energized. So I'm going to show you on the meter, we get a diode reading, but then we don't get a resistance reading across the coil or either side of the relay. So this is actually the output contact. It's normally open contact. So you measure across this way, you get a diode. You measure across this way, you get a bit of a reverse voltage. 2k ohms, nothing that way, nothing on this side. So that means that this coil is open circuit. Boom, nice and easy. I've also done a short check as well. There's no short circuits going on the output. You know, if we reverse these, you get a normal gate reading. So the output is okay, which is awesome. I've also checked all the regulators. There's nothing dodgy going on. Oh. So I'm thinking maybe just the relay's gone open circuit, just because of age. Just happens sometimes. It could be a cheap relay. I've also found as well that these Decons, as suspected, the majority of these are bad. And I know I'm testing them in circuit now, but out of circuit, it depends how they're set up in circuit. It depends if you can get an ESR reading across them. You can see the meter, which you can't, because I'm terrible at doing the camera. Where are we testing? This one here. It's a 10 mic cap, but I think it's a 10 mic, is it? No, it's a 100 mic actually. 100 mic, we got 9 mics, 40 ohms, shorted. This one up here, meant to be the same, 9 microfarads, 1 ohm. The mains, I'm not sure on these. I don't really think we're going to be able to read those. Nope. You need a bit more of a powerful meter than this. But we're getting open circuits all over the place. So as well. These must be affected by the capacitor plague, definitely, because they're all failed. Even this one is off what it should be. So what I'm going to do real quick is I'm going to take the relay off, and I'm going to get some caps out and see if I can replace half of these, or if I'm going to have to order them. But we're just going to see what happens with the relay when we take it out of circuit, see if it's open circuited still. So I'm going to do that. Right, so doing some further testing on these relays. This one is open circuit, and this one is actually also faulty, this Good Sky relay. So this is a power relay with 2 poles, as you can see, and the way it's set up is this is meant to work. So these 2 are shorted on this side until the coil is energized, then this disconnects from this and connects up to these. And I was doing some testing, and I'll show you the data sheet for this one. And that's not working anyway, so what's going on there? There we go. So hopefully that's focusing. As you can see, open circuit, and it's quite an evident failure going on with the relay. You can see the carbonisation going on the contacts. See that? That is meant to be a nice coppery bronze colour, but in fact it is black. You can see the soot inside. I suspect that that is caused by the auto power on and off feature, so when the sub is not outputting anything, it turns off the main power. I reckon that the on and off cycles from that is what's caused this relay to fail. So, let's see if I've got the data sheet. There we go. So as you can see here, the start relay. It tells you there, these 2 are meant to be shorted, normally closed, till that's energized, then these become normally closed. But obviously they're not making contact because of all the soot. So I'm actually going to repair this relay. I'm just going to hold these contacts apart and brush them up with the Dremel, and I'll show you that working after. This has been about 4 days, and I've got all the parts for the subwoofer. This is the main power relay. It's actually salvaged out of another amplifier, because I made the Mouser order after I figured out that this was also faulty. I sort of give up on the board for that evening, come back to it the next day, tested that relay, and I was like, oh, what? The contacts, the normally closed contacts, are open on it. Whoops. And obviously I took it to work, tested it, and it was faulty. Bit annoying, but I still got one in time. This is the same type of relay, so these 2 are normally closed, coils energized, these are normally closed, and then these are normally open. So it's a double pole as well. Don't make the mistake, because you can buy single pole relays that have this amount of pins. Don't make the mistake of doing that, because if you install it onto the board, you will blow it up. And trust me, I've done it by accident, so don't do that. Make sure you check your relays properly, and you should all be good. This is the other one. Oh no, it isn't. Where is the other one? It is somewhere over here. I'm not sure. Oh, it's here. How did that happen? And this is the other relay. T connectivity. These are good relays. I should have shown you testing this one, but I don't have a power supply at home yet. This one, I stuck 24 volts into the coil, and it finally went And then it started coming on at like 16 volts and normal voltage. So I'm not really sure what was going on. Maybe the contact was stuck and the coil couldn't open it. I'm not sure. I haven't took it apart, but either way, I'm just replacing it. I don't really care. So this is all the caps that I've got in. I just need to desolder the old ones, and then I can solder in all these new Nichicons. And we're not using WE caps, don't worry. They're general purpose for a power supply. So for the mains, I've got Nichicon LS. These are used in quite a few different audio devices that I've worked on, so I think they're adequate enough. They're certainly better than Decons. So two of them, I think they're about £4 each or something. And for the small ones, I've got Panasonic FCs. These are brilliant capacitors. Definitely recommend these. Mainly more for power supply use, yes, but they are brilliant as well for audio devices, and they'll work great in this. I would have got Nichicon fine golds for all of them, but I couldn't get those. That's also for this. I struggled to find these in audio grade, so I've just gone for Panasonic EBs. What do you expect? I'm not waiting like 3 weeks, I think Miles had on the lead time. I want this thing fixed. 10 UF100s, these are Nichicons, as you can see. These are FWs, I think. Yep. Good caps, brilliant for audio equipment. Got more Panasonic FCs here again, the 470. I need these for another device as well. I think that's it literally for this subwoofer, I think, yeah. So what I'm gonna do, oh yeah, I didn't show you this either. This one is measuring its value. You heat it up to 100 degrees with the hot air and it loses its value. And that's a very common failure I've been seeing on this type of capacitor lately. These X-grade, these green ones, I've been seeing them in quite a few different devices, Denons mainly, and they've been going wrong when they get warm and causing issues. So I'm replacing that as well. Same value. Keep the circuit happy. And as well, I've also tested the volume pot. That is perfectly fine. Sprayed a bit of contact cleaner into it just to help it out. And it should literally be the case of, I'm going to have to snip the leads down on this relay a little bit. Got to be careful doing that because they're not going to fit into the board. And this other one, this should go straight in. There you go. So I'm going to solder all the parts and we're going to test it. Okay, so I've finished capping and putting the relays onto this board, or these two boards. Are all good. Both the relays are on, big caps are on, all the small caps are done. One thing I'm going to warn you about is the aluminium heatsink, because I've just had a massive nightmare trying to get all these screws back in because they all stripped out basically. Well, they didn't strip out, but they started just cross-threading for no reason. Just putting them in directly straight. Ended up having to take that cap back off. And yeah, it's taken a while to get all these screwed back in, but they're all in. And this little guy right here took me a few minutes to figure it out as well. I struggled to find a data sheet for that, but the back of this needs to be earthed to the chassis ground. And then this one does not make sure that that is not short into the chassis, because if you put this on top of that, you have to put the insulator between them both. You're going to blow it up, so make sure you don't do that. And I think that's going to work, but we'll see. Alright, so we're going to do a power up test, and we're going to see if it blows up. Oh, I heard relays. And I heard a thud. That is going to work. Get this phone unlocked. There you go. Straight away. Whoa. Straight up and working. It's got some kick. I think it's definitely going to be enough to aid these speakers, but I might end up buying another one of these. That's going to cause trouble, that is. Okay. I'm going to let it bias up a bit first before I turn it off, but it's working. So I've had this running for a while and it's been working fine. So it's been the repair of a Wharfedale SW150 subwoofer, active. It's pretty violent, to be fair. I'm wondering if that place is for me. This is not going to sit well with the neighbours. Really not. There's no bass going on there, is there? There we go. I think it's rattling something on the wall already, so I'm going to have to set this thing up and probably only use it when nobody's around. So, but these are all right. These are mainly mid-range speakers, more than bass. So, and I can adjust that amplifier pretty well, so they're all right to use. But this is it's a pretty good subwoofer. So hopefully that can help you repair it. Thanks for watching.